Hello, everyone. I'm Troy, and welcome to my YouTube page, Troy's Mopar Garage. Okay, so let me talk to you about this engine cart that I decided I was going to try to build, that I built, what I like about it, and what I would probably do different if I built a different one. Or maybe not. I might just do one out of 6x6s. So what my concern is with this one, all the measurements are good, but I don't like the size of the casters that are put on it. It is a little hard to move. I would go with 6x6s and 8-inch casters so you can get your engine stand up underneath the front of it. Because as you can see with the casters I put on it, which is the largest I could find locally to fit the 4x4, there's not enough room to get your legs up underneath it. But all in all, it's doing pretty good. I'm probably going to put a scissors jack where that wood is underneath the transmission pan with a flat top on part of the scissors jack. That way, whenever I get this underneath the car, if I need to raise and lower the transmission to get the cross member up into the car, then I can raise and lower that there. But I liked how it turned out. I'm going to finish assembling everything on the engine and get it ready to get up into the car. Hopefully I'll have it in by the end of the day today. Y'all keep watching. Thanks. All right, so I didn't record a video of me putting everything together, but here's the power steering gear cleaned up, painted, and put on. I put the headers on the vehicle, everything set up on the engine cart. The pulley system that's on the front, I purchased an aftermarket CVF, I think it is, pulley system used, installed it on the engine, and installed everything up into the vehicle. And here she is, folks. All set down inside the car. Engine bay painted. Got my CVF serpentine belt pulley system on it. Headers in it. Steering gear. Still got all the little stuff to do. And then all the front suspension's got to be done. All right, until next time. All right, here she is, installed, K-frame bolted in, dropped it down with the headers, but if you look real close, my steering gear is touching the frame rail. We'll have to see if there's any kind of adjustment that I can make. Transmission cross member in. So we're going to see what happens from here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Troy's Mopar Garage. I'm Troy. So now it's time for another video on the 70 Roadrunner. I'm kind of depressed at the moment. I'll go over a few things and you'll see why. I've got the motor and transmission up in the car. I used that little wooden dolly that I made. I'll show you a picture of that right here. Well, the motor's got to come back out. I'll tell you why in just a second, but I want to show you what I did to the motor dolly. I didn't like the way it was set up, so what I've done is I put some larger casters on it. I raised it up off the ground because it was so low. Whenever I lowered the car down on top of it, it was hard for me to get up underneath the car to the transmission area and put the transmission mount up into the car. Right there. So since I had it in, I lowered the car down on top of this before I put the 4x4 or 6x6 blocks and the larger casters up underneath it. Took some measurements, finding out what I needed to do. So now I've got the cart tilted up in the back. It's sitting at the same angle that the engine or transmission is as the car lowers down on top of it. So when the K-frame sits on top of the front right here and the transmission cross member sits on top of that block in the back, everything sits level. So I can lower the car down on top of it, unbolt the K-frame and the transmission mount. Y'all, excuse my finger, I'm looking at the car, not the camera as I'm pointing around. But I'll be able to lower it down on top of it, unbolt everything, and just lift the car right up off of it, and it'll roll around easily. When I had the little 3-inch casters on it, it was difficult to roll. These are just some old casters that I had from another project. I actually used those. They were 10-inch tires, like the one on the back is a 10-inch. These used to have the same tires. I replaced them with a heavier 8-inch wheel, and this is what I used on the cart I built for the front to bolt to where the K-frame is so I can move the car forward and backwards. I'll show you a picture of that as well. That is actually sitting on my charger, sitting outside the door right there. I just took the tires off of it to move them onto this. I'm considering adjusting this, trimming this 4x4 on the top, back 3 inches on each side, putting that other piece, well, as a matter of fact, let me go out there and show it to you real quick. Doesn't have any wheels on it, but this is a piece that I made to be able to move the car around in the front. And I had the casters on each side of it, and it worked really well. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and mount it underneath the 4x4 right there. Take those 6x6s off, mount it underneath the 4x4, keep the metal plates on the side that bolt up right here where your K-frame does. So whenever I lower the car down on top of this, if I don't need it for the K-frame, and all I need it for is to be able to move the car back and forth, I'll have the metal brackets that go to the frame will be right here. This 4x4 will go up in between the frame rails. You follow me? That way the car sits down over this onto the bracket, and I can bolt it up and move it back and forth. And I'll just leave this like it is. So that's just a thought. I may or may not do that. But let me show you why I got to pull it back out. First off, I don't know what brand headers these are. I picked them up in Carlisle a couple of years ago with that X-pipe right there, with the intention of putting them in the 73 Charger that I was going to build before my wife got me the Roadrunner. So plans changed, switched onto this. As you can see, looking at the back, how the header's set, not even. Well, I don't have something right, and I think it's my motor mounts. If you look close at the bottom of the oil pan, you can see how it's tilted this way a little bit. I think I've got my motor mounts on the wrong side. I got to confirm that. But whenever I set it down on this previous version of this engine stand, everything went really well, but I did have to jack up the back of the transmission to get it in here. So anyways, I'm taking it back down. Headers for one, I don't like. I'm going back with my HP manifolds. I've got to run my quarter-inch return line, fuel return line to the back. I've got to hook up all my linkage and everything, but I purchased a B&M torque converter, stall converter, to use behind this 440 in this 727 that was going in that Charger. Well, now it's in here, and this is temporary. This is going to come back out and go into the Charger because that's going to be my son's car. I have put many torque converters in, and I know that these small 5/16 torque converter nuts, I'm sorry so it's so dark, only get torqued down to 20 to 25 pounds. So you do not use them to try to turn your engine over. I did not do so. I removed from my serpentine belt system, I removed the lower pulley attachment so I can get to my crank bolt and turn it over by hand. As I'm torquing up the last bolt, it freaking strips out. Brand new torque converter. Oh, I was freaking pissed. And it's not the bolt that stripped, it's the torque converter. So, could it have been me? Very possible. I don't think so. But now I've got to pull it out, fix the torque converter, check my mounts, get them correct, get it set right before I put it back in. Put my regular HP manifolds back on, which I still have the exhaust that came with the car, which is a nice exhaust system. I just got to put my tips on it for the back. But I'm going to pause the video and I'll show you, I'll lower the car down and show you what I do in order to get everything disconnected. I'll have to set the camera up on the stand. Hang tight, be right back. Okay, something that I did want to mention is if you are doing this, pulling your motor out the bottom like this and you're using a lift, one thing you have to be careful of is the weight transfer. Whenever you lift your car up off of your motor and transmission and K-frame, you're not going to have much weight on the front. And if you're loaded down in the back end, your car is going to come off the rack. It's not going to be a good day. So what I would suggest, and this is just my opinion, I'm not a professional, I'm a do-it-yourselfer guy. What I do for my well-being and peace of mind is I strap my car down with a couple of chains on both sides of the racks of my arms. That way, if the back end is heavier and it wants to lift the front, this is going to try to help stop it. So I've already done it, and it's not lifting up. I don't have tires on the back. There's nothing in my trunk. I've tried to make it as light as possible on the back end. So just a word of warning, be careful whenever you're doing this. You don't want to damage your project. So onto the video of me lowering the car down onto the dolly that I made, already told everybody about. I'm probably going to do a voiceover on this. I'm not sure, this section of it, because of the loud impact and stuff taking it off. I'm going to try it with this first and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and lower it down. I'm going to move the camera down to where you can see the car coming down on top of it. I'll set you down here. Forgive me, I'm not a video type guy that knows how to do all this high-tech stuff and editing and whatnot. So, here we go. Coming down. Make sure we're unlocked. And hopefully you can hear me. My mics are not charged up. So, I'm gonna lower it down. I'm gonna watch the pins, make sure that they go into the dolly correctly. So I'm gonna get it down as close as I can and make sure that it's lined up. All right. That's about perfect. We ought to be able to set it down right on top of that. Come down slow. Perfect. All right. Back end tilted down just a hair. I know my weight is on the K-frame. So now I'm going to pull my bolts out of my transmission cross member. See if this works, guys. Make sure I got the pressure off the bolts. Yep. Y'all hang tight. Last bolt. You'll excuse me while my fat ass moves around here. Transmission cross member is disconnected. We'll move on to the K-frame bolts. Might be a little loud. Keep your fingers crossed. See the car go up? All right, we are all unbolted. Nothing else is hooked up. Now let's raise it up. Always bring your rack back down onto the locks. Don't let the weight of the car sit on the hydraulic system. Not good for your rack. So, it's out. That simple. Now, let's see how good this thing rolls around. Oh, okay. All right, so I can see right off the bat, I'm gonna have to pin this block for the transmission, otherwise it's gonna come off that block. So I'll do that. I forgot to add air to the back tire. I can move it wherever I want to move it. So, now I get to take everything apart. But I can slide my engine stand up underneath it easily now. It's high enough off the ground. I'm going to pull the engine and transmission back off of it, pull the transmission off, get the torque converter out, either replace it or repair it. Get my exhaust off, get those headers, which look really good, but those things were a pain to put on there. I don't like them. So until next time, appreciate you watching. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends, tell everybody about what I'm doing, trying to get this old bird back on the road. Just an old man working from his shop at home. All right, guys, I'm Troy. Troy's Mopar Garage. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you next time.